Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Fitaurus Kitchen news. My apologies for going and missing last week. I was in Seattle for PAX and I wasn't able to go and put together a news show. But I'm back, and that being the case, let's get cooking and talk about some news. Alright, so the first point I want to go and bring up is one that I was really excited to go in here. Earlier in the week, August 31st to be precise, which is Hatsune Miku's birthday, Sega went and announced the next Project Diva game, Project Diva X. We're coming out for the PlayStation Vita next year, 2016 in March, and for the PlayStation 4 in fall. Now those are Japanese release dates at this point, so there hasn't been anything discussed as far as Western localizations, but with Sega's recent dedication to going and localizing the Hatsune Miku Project Divas and Project Mirai, which is actually out this week. Super excited. Mine's in the mail. If it wasn't for Labor Day, I might be getting it as early as tomorrow, but that's not going to go and happen. Oh well, what are you to go and do? Anyway, with Sega's recent dedication to going and localizing the Hatsune Miku and Project Diva and Project Mirai titles, I'm pretty certain that we will be going and getting Project Diva X in the United States as well, but at this point there hasn't been any localization announcements listed or given. I'm definitely planning on going and importing at least the PlayStation Vita title when it releases in March of next year though, so definitely look forward to that. There's been a little bit of information about it at this point. They've gone and unveiled 3 of the songs on the set list. Reinai Saiban, so Romance Trial, with the new module Judgment. Raspberry Monster, which is the one that they went and used in the trailer, which is really neat. You should watch that if you're interested. I'll include a link to the teaser site below with the module Raspberryism. And then there's the third song that they've announced so far is Strangers with the module Silent Voice. So it's looking like it's going to go and be kind of follow for the most part the Project Diva formula. So if you've gone and played any of Project Diva titles, then you'll know what to go and expect. And if you need some kind of primer or at least a little bit of a hint of what those titles are like, go ahead and check out some of my melody series. There are actually quite a few Project Diva songs within that, so give those a look if you're interested in going and having some more information about Hatsune Miku Project Diva. Many of the titles, but this one they're adding in some new features. So in the past you would go and play the songs, earn Diva points, and use those to go and purchase modules, which are basically costumes or skins for the characters as you go that you unlock throughout the course of the game. One of the things that they're going and introducing in Project Diva X is a live quest mode. So you'll kind of be going and taking and fulfilling quests throughout the course of those quest mode events, stages as it were, and it's possible in those to go and get random module drops. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily going to, if they're going to increase the number of modules that are present in the title, or if it's going to go and be stuff from previous titles. I'm also not sure how big the set list is going to go and be. They've gone and said it'll be greater than 30 songs, but that could go and be anything. So super excited for that one. And if you're a fan of the rhythm games or of Hatsune Miku herself and the other Krypton Vocaloids, then definitely look forward to that one. And like I said, I'll definitely be going and covering more on that one, especially as we get closer to release, and I'll definitely be importing the PlayStation Vita title. So look forward to some more coverage on that one, especially in March of next year. Moving on to our second point. This is another game announcement that kind of didn't surprise me, but definitely goes and gives me hope for the franchise and really local game localization at large. So earlier in the week as well, Capcom went and announced Ace Attorney 6, or in the Japanese it's Gyakuten Saiban 6, but this was like literally Turnabout Court. But this is big news as well because for the longest time this franchise had seemed to go and be stagnant, but this is yet another title released essentially hot on the heels of Ace Attorney 5, and that's English localization specifically. Which is something that's also really big about this news, is Capcom has already gone and announced that they're going and localizing Ace Attorney 6 as well. Whether it'll go and be just a digital only release like Ace Attorney 5, or whether it's going to go and actually have a physical release, that hasn't been said, but still it's really exciting news. There's been a little bit about the title itself, but there will be a lot more up and coming with Tokyo Game Show, which goes and takes place in 2 weeks, I believe. So definitely something to go and look forward to if you're a fan of the Ace Attorney series or visual novels. Like Ace Attorney, we're still going and getting some that's still going and kicking strong. Okay, moving on to our next news item. This one is one that's, well, definitely newsworthy and worth noting. It was a title that I was interested in when they went and announced it, but if you've gone and played it, you've definitely gone and you'll probably be aware with some of my feelings I'm going to go and express here. And the news is that Soul Calibur Lost Swords, Bandai Namco's free-to-play Soul Calibur title on the PlayStation 3 is ending service at the end of November this year. November 30th is when the servers will go and shut down. So this is interesting in that it's been their current Soul Calibur title, but man, it's not a very good game at all. So Soul Calibur, part of its strength is the fact that it was a multiplayer fighter game where, you know, there was usually a lot of content present in the games itself. Soul Calibur 2 and 3 really going to come to my mind as going to having a ton of extra content. But even the original one, when it went released on the Dreamcast, was phenomenal. And part of the fun of that was also couch co-op or multiplayer, going and sitting down and going and playing and battling against other people. Soul Calibur Lost Swords, if you're not familiar with it, is a single-player free-to-play title. And free-to-play almost in the worst way possible. So it goes and takes the Soul Calibur formula and kind of distills it to where you're going and building your own character. And you've got the characters that you can go and be, as far as, you know, you can be Mitsurugi, you can go and be Siegfried. I think there might be one other you can go and be from the start of the game, but that's it. So you're building your characters based off of this. If you need to go, or if you want to go and unlock other characters, they go and come up, but only during certain times, during certain events. So you need to go and be there to go and unlock those characters. And you have to go and grind those stages an insane amount of time to go and get the drop to actually unlock the character. It's frustrating. I wouldn't put a lot of time into that title when it first came out, I believe last year, and I don't think I ever unlocked any other characters from the base 3 that came with it. Mitsurugi, Siegfried, and Sophia, I believe. Super frustrating. I'll go ahead and the price points for the drops. So you could go and buy treasure chests that could go and potentially give you premium items or even like parts of costumes for the main characters, but like the pricing was insane. Like, look at some of these prices. Even like today, the premium set with 6 chests costs $13 for like a random set of stuff. That is ridiculous. Well, even if you knew what you were going and paying for, like what would that go and break down to? Like $210 for premium items for a fighter just to go and like get costume pieces is ridiculous. So, and another thing that was terrible about Soul Calibur, for the most part, you were hardly ever going and playing against the main Soul Calibur characters. You're just going and playing against these random characters that were kind of thrown together in the character creator, and these like missions that had some sort of story that you could go and follow along with. And the loading times. This hourglass right here, you'll go and be staring at it so much. The amount of time that it went and took to go and get even just between menus was terrible. So, like, let's go and hope that with Soul Calibur Lost Swords going and closing down, maybe that means that Bandai Namco is ready to go and tackle the Soul Calibur franchise again, and that we're going to actually go and get a true entrant in the Soul Calibur series, and one that's better than 5, because admittedly 5 was kind of a disappointment to me as well. Alright, and moving on to my last item that I have for this week. We're going to go and hopefully be seeing some cave shooters on Steam before the end of this year. So we have a new teaser site, caveshmups.com. I'll include the link below. That goes and has information, or it goes and says the Steam isn't going to be able to go and dodge these bullets. And then it goes and lists that they're going to be published by Degika, which has gone and published a couple other shoot 'em ups before now. Most notably, at least from me, the Crimson Clover World Ignition was published on Steam by them. I went and did a video on that one in the past as well, like a wonderful, wonderful bullet hell shoot 'em up. I'll go ahead and throw a link over here so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. So this is big news for shoot 'em up fans, though. Going and being able to play, hopefully it's like a lot of the Cave library, since there are so many titles. But at this point, it's unknown which and how many titles are going and coming to Steam. So here's hoping for, well, let's shoot for the sky, shall we? Let's hope for their entire library going and coming to Steam. That would just go and be awesome. But hopefully, winter, by the end, or the time winter goes and rolls around, we'll go and have more information on that, and will definitely be something to go and look forward to as we go and get closer to that point. I'll definitely let you know once we happen to go and know what some of those titles that are going to come out are, if we go and find any information before they even go and show up. Alright, well, that'll go and wrap me up for my news this week. Thank you so much for going and coming by and joining me. As always, I want to go and stress that this news program is new. I'm trying to go and develop it still, so if you have any suggestions or comments, good or bad, about what I'm going and doing, please let me know. If you have news stories that you want to go and feature, please let me know, or you can go and hit my Twitter account, go and throw me a tweet, and I'll go ahead and look it up and I'll include it in my news program. But I'm definitely going and looking for feedback. I want to go and develop this and go and turn it into something that's great for you. So please, if you have any comments, please put them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for going and coming out and joining me today, and I'll see you again next week.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.